Hi everyone. Today I'm going to cover the new expand and collapse functionality that's available in your catalog. So what this functionality allows you to do is to collapse some of that data that appears really long in your catalog to make it easy to navigate. So some of the data that you may want to collapse would be something like a long description or maybe your graduation requirements. In order to configure this, I would go to the Settings tab, and then I would select whichever item I want to configure. So in this case, I'm going to select Courses. And then as you can see, it lists out all the fields available in the course part of the catalog. And then over here to the right, there's a settings icon for each of these fields. So I'm going to go ahead and configure the requisites field. As you can see, I have a couple of display options available. So the first one is expanded only. And what expanded only does is essentially when a student comes in, they're going to see this field and it's always going to be expanded, and they're not going to have the ability to collapse this field or collapse this data. I can also make it collapsible, and what that allows me to do is configure how I want the student to be able to expand or collapse this data when entering the catalog. So my first option is to have the field be able to be initially collapsed. So when they come in, they won't see the data right away, but if they want to dig in a little bit more, they can expand it to see that data. Or I can have it initially expanded, which is the reverse, where the student would come in and they would see all the data right away, but they would have the ability to collapse it. So I'm going to have the requisites field be initially collapsed so we can see what that looks like. I'm also going to go to this description field because text areas have a little bit different options. So they have the regular options of expanded only and collapsible, but they also have the ability to truncate the text. And there's a little help icon here that's going to explain what that does. What that does is if you have a large chunk of text, it's going to kind of chop it down to a few lines. So the student can come in, they can see that there's text there, they can read some of it, but the rest of it's going to be cut off, and they're going to have to select show all in order to see all of the text. So I'm going to select that as an option and save. So now I'm going to go into preview catalog to take a look at what I've done. So we're going to go courses, and I'm going to select a biology course, this one right here. Okay, so there's a couple things that we have here. The first is this description. As you can see, the text has been truncated, so it's been cut off right here, so you can see some of it, but it's also going to let you know that there's more information here. So I can select see more to see the rest of that information. But what it does is it kind of allows you to cut down on some of these large blocks of text that make it difficult for the student to read through exactly what they want to read through. And then the next thing I have here is the requisites field. And as you can see, it's been collapsed by default. So I can go ahead and expand that with this little expand icon right here to see all of that information, and then collapse it again if I need to. So of course, this can be applied to your institution and your catalog exactly the way you would want it. And if you have any questions, please let us know or look at our documentation. Thank you so much.